Okay, so I'm going to be putting this exhaust manifold back together. So I've already cleaned up the gasket surfaces so that they're nice and smooth. All the traces of the old gasket is gone. So now we are going to put the exhaust recirculation valve, and this is what I was talking about. It basically a certain amount of exhaust gas is ends up going through here and ends up taking this extra loop up here. And I know one thing that it does is it transfers heat to the intake up here. And so this is how it's supposed to be. It looks a little messy, but that's how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be welded like that. Like I said, I really don't know a whole lot about how this all works, why it is necessary, but I don't know. That's the way the engine manual says it's supposed to go, so that's what we're going with. So now we're just going to stick it through the studs. Perfect. Now, because the exhaust system has very high temperatures, this piece right here can get to over 500 degrees. It actually maxes out my infrared thermometer. So, oh, what am I missing? If you said you forgot to put on the gasket, you're correct. I have the gasket sitting right here. I forgot to put it on. So, the first thing we do is put on the gasket. And I believe that there's no marking saying this side up, this side down, because it appears to be the same on both sides, so it shouldn't matter. So we'll put the gasket on, and then put this on. Now, because the exhaust gets to such high temperatures, we are going to use this stuff called thread guard. And as you can probably guess, this can is very old, but it still seems to be working, so we need a screwdriver right here to open up the can. So again, I don't know how this stuff works, but basically it makes it so that the bolts don't stick, especially when you are dealing with things that have really high temperatures. So I normally you can use your fingers to do it. It does feel a little weird on the fingers, so I normally just use a toothbrush to apply it, and you just apply it to the threads. You probably don't need to apply as much as I'm applying, but it doesn't really seem to hurt anything if you put extra on. It just kind of oozes out once you put the bolt on, and then you can wipe it off. So this should make it so that if we ever have to take this apart again, it'll come apart easier. In our gasket kit that we got the proper proper spacer gasket, proper carburetor gasket, and we also got the gaskets for the ends and the center here. So we will not be using my homemade gaskets for this. We will be using the proper gaskets, and hopefully everything will work and I never have to take it apart again. because these gaskets are kind of hard to come by. So we're going to tighten these down. I am going to take my homemade gaskets off, and then we are going to put the exhaust manifold on the truck, and then we will put the carburetor back on, get everything hooked up with that, and then the valve cover. So last time these two studs broke off and we replaced them with these bolts here. This time these two studs on the end here, this first one bent. Now it's kind of my fault because when I first tried to take it out, I started gripping it up here on the thin part, and when I needed to grip it down here right where it enters the block. And then the second one broke off. So we are going to be replacing those studs as well with brand new bolts. However, the center studs, because they didn't break off or bend or anything, they're still good, so we're going to reuse them. But of course, before we put them in the new block, we are going to be putting some of this thread guard on there, just so that they don't stick in there and break off if we ever have to take them out again. And of course it could never be that simple. So this stud here must be tweaked or something, because I keep trying to put it in and it only gets that far and then it's stuck. I don't understand, and I've tried it in a different hole, I've tried a different stud in that hole. It's not a problem with the block, it's a problem with this stud right here. So this stud is going to have to be replaced with a bolt. And I can't go to the hardware store right now, so I have to wait a while to go to the hardware store, so that means I have to wait a while to start up the truck. I am going to get the exhaust manifold in place and at least tighten down all of those, and then I can add that last bolt when I am able to. But it's probably not a good idea to start it until all the exhaust manifold bolts are in, so that means we aren't going to be adjusting the valves until possibly this afternoon, but probably tomorrow. Okay. It would probably have been smart if I had done a test fit of this manifold to this head before I put the head on the truck, because now something's not right and I am working on it. Unfortunately, I can't. Well, that camera should be getting it, but it's really not much to film. It's just wiggling this around, trying to get all the bolt holes to line up. I got these ones down here to line up, and it's sitting on the studs there, but I can't get these holes lined up for the bolts here. They just, I don't know, something's going on with them, so I'm just gonna keep at it and hopefully get it. When putting the exhaust manifold back together, I tightened the bolts to get a good seal on the gasket. Then when I went to put the exhaust manifold back on the truck, I realized that the holes for the intake didn't line up. That was because the surface between the two parts of the exhaust manifold had worn down over time, so the gasket could no longer adequately fill that gap. So I had to loosen the bolts there to get the holes to line up, and I had to tighten the bolts connecting the intake to the head, and then I had to re-tighten those bolts. And because the surface of the exhaust manifold had worn down over time, it no longer created a good seal with the gasket. We would need a thicker gasket to create an adequate seal. So yeah, over time that is going to leak, hopefully less than the previous one, but it is what it is, and next time we can get a thicker gasket, we'll probably just make our own that will be thicker and be able to fill that gap. Or get a new exhaust manifold if we can manage to find one. Okay, the exhaust manifold is now on. I'm not too crazy about this new gasket and seal in this EGR system. I can't tell if you can tell, but it looks like there's a little bit of a gap there. Now I can't tell if the gap goes all the way through or not, but there's not much that I can do about it unless I take it completely apart and try to plane down both surfaces to make them even, but that is going to take quite a while, and so we're just going to leave it and see what happens. It might leak. Ideally, we would have a new exhaust manifold, but I cannot find one. So at some point in the future, we will probably replace this exhaust manifold because there are some imperfections with it that prevent it from sealing properly, and so, but until that time, it's what we're working with, so that's what we're doing. The next thing is to install the carburetor. Okay, so I am all done on this side. I've got the carburetor attached, got the choke line, throttle, fuel lines, vent lines, all of that stuff. I did end up hooking up the air line. I think I can get the valve cover off with that air line still attached. But I definitely didn't want to sit here and listen to the low air pressure warning buzzer the entire time I've got the truck started while I'm letting it get up to temperature. So I reconnected that. I also reconnected the cooling system because I'm pretty sure, again, that I can get the valve cover off. And as long as I'm going to be warming the truck up to temperature, I may as well fill it with coolant first, and then that takes care of bleeding the cooling system. So, the only thing left to do is connect the air filter. So, yeah, that's this side. And then, so everything else I have to do to start the truck is over on this side.